Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel. We're really happy you're spending your time learning English with us today.
Hi friends, it's great to have you here again. Whether you're listening at home, walking somewhere, or relaxing with a cup of coffee, we're glad you're learning English with us.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake.
And today we have a relaxed and interesting topic that many people enjoy talking about.
That's right. Today we're going to talk about jobs.
More specifically, we're going to talk about how to talk about your favorite job in English.
This is a very common topic in everyday conversations.
People often ask questions like, "What do you do for work?" or "What kind of job would you like in the future?"
And when you meet someone new, talking about jobs is one of the most common ways to start a conversation.
It also comes up in job interviews, classroom discussions, and even casual chats with friends.
So, learning how to talk about jobs clearly and naturally is a very useful English skill.
Before we begin the lesson, if you enjoy learning English with relaxed conversations like this, please subscribe to Chill English Channel.
Subscribing helps us keep creating calm and useful English lessons for you.
All right, Jake, before we start teaching vocabulary and sentence patterns, I want to ask you a question.
I feel like I should be worried when you say that.
Don't worry, it's a simple one.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you could choose any job in the world, what job would you love to have?
Only one job?
Yes, just one.
That's a tough question. There are so many interesting jobs.
I know, but imagine you could wake up every morning excited to go to work.
In that case, I think I would love to be a travel photographer.
A travel photographer? That sounds amazing.
Yes, because it combines two things I really enjoy, traveling and photography.
That makes a lot of sense.
I could visit different countries, explore beautiful places, and capture interesting moments with my camera.
And your photos could tell stories about the places you visit.
Exactly. Photography can show people cultures, landscapes, and daily life around the world.
That really does sound like a dream job.
What about you, Sophia? What job would you choose?
I think I would love to be a travel writer.
Interesting. So both of our dream jobs involve traveling.
Apparently, we both like the idea of exploring the world.
What do you like about being a travel writer?
Well, I enjoy writing and storytelling.
That's true.
And a travel writer gets to visit different places, meet interesting people, and share those experiences through writing.
So you could describe cities, food, culture, and daily life.
Exactly. Writing about those experiences would make the job very exciting.
I also imagine every day would feel different.
Yes, and that variety makes a job more interesting.
That's an important point. Many people like jobs that feel different and dynamic.
While others prefer jobs that are stable and predictable.
Everyone has different preferences when it comes to work.
That's why asking someone about their favorite job can lead to very interesting conversations.
And now, let's look at how you can answer that question in English.
A very common question people ask is, "What is your favorite job?"
Or sometimes they ask, what job would you love to have?
Many English learners answer this question with a very short sentence.
For example, someone might say, I like teaching.
That sentence is correct, but it sounds a little unfinished.
It's better to explain why you like that job.
Exactly. Adding a reason makes your answer more natural.
Here is a useful sentence pattern.
The pattern is, "My favorite job would be blank because blank."
For example, my favorite job would be a teacher because I enjoy helping people learn.
Or you could say, "My favorite job would be a photographer because I love capturing beautiful moments."
Notice how the second part explains the reason.
That small detail makes the sentence more interesting.
Here is another useful pattern.
The pattern is, "I would love to be a blank because blank."
For example, I would love to be a chef because I enjoy cooking and creating new dishes.
Or, I would love to be a pilot because I enjoy traveling and seeing new places.
These patterns are simple, but they sound very natural in English conversations.
Now let's talk about some jobs that many people find interesting.
One very popular job is teacher.
Teachers help students learn new skills and knowledge.
Teaching can be challenging, but it can also be very rewarding.
Another job many people admire is doctor.
Doctors help people stay healthy and recover from illnesses.
It requires a lot of education and responsibility.
But it can be a very meaningful career.
Then there are creative jobs like artist, musician, or writer.
These jobs allow people to express ideas and emotions.
Some people prefer technical jobs like engineering or programming.
Those jobs involve solving problems and building systems.
And of course, some people love adventurous jobs.
Like pilot, travel blogger, wildlife photographer, or explorer.
Those jobs often involve excitement and new experiences.
When people think about their favorite job, they often think about what activities they enjoy.
For example, do you enjoy helping people?
Do you enjoy creating things?
Do you enjoy solving problems?
Or do you enjoy exploring new places?
Your interests can give you clues about the kind of job you might enjoy.
And sometimes discovering your favorite job takes time.
That's true. People often try different things before finding work they truly enjoy.
And that journey can be very interesting.
Because along the way, you learn more about your strengths, interests, and goals.
And understanding those things can help you choose a career that feels meaningful and enjoyable.
One interesting thing about favorite jobs is that they often match a person's interests and personality.
That's very true. The kind of work you enjoy usually reflects the kind of person you are.
For example, some people are very social and enjoy interacting with others all day.
Those people might enjoy jobs that involve communication.
Jobs like teaching, sales, customer service, public speaking, or event planning.
These roles often require talking with people, explaining ideas, and building relationships.
On the other hand, some people prefer quieter environments where they can concentrate deeply.
Exactly. Jobs like writing, programming, design, or research often involve working independently.
These jobs usually require focus, patience, and problem-solving skills.
And neither type of job is better than the other.
It simply depends on the person and what makes them feel comfortable and productive.
Another important factor in choosing a favorite job is the work environment.
Some people enjoy working in an office with a team.
Others prefer working outdoors.
Outdoor jobs can include things like park ranger, photographer, tour guide, or construction worker.
These jobs often allow people to spend time in nature or travel to different places.
Meanwhile, office jobs usually involve working with computers, meetings, and organized schedules.
And in recent years, many people have started working remotely.
Remote work means doing your job from home or from anywhere with an internet connection.
Some people love remote work because they don't have to commute.
And they can sometimes create a more flexible schedule.
But others prefer working in a physical workplace.
Because they enjoy being around colleagues and having face-to-face conversations.
That's a good reminder that a favorite job is not only about the job itself.
It's also about how and where you work.
Let's talk about something fun for a moment.
Childhood dream jobs.
Ah, yes. When we are children, we often imagine very exciting careers.
I remember that when I was young, many of my classmates wanted to be astronauts.
Astronaut is definitely one of the most famous dream jobs.
It sounds adventurous and inspiring.
When I was a child, I actually wanted to be a detective.
A detective? That sounds mysterious.
I think I watched too many detective movies growing up.
What interested you about that job?
I liked the idea of solving puzzles and discovering hidden clues.
That does sound exciting.
But, of course, movies sometimes make jobs look more dramatic than they really are.
That's very true.
For example, movies often show chefs creating beautiful dishes in calm kitchens.
But in reality, restaurant kitchens can be very busy and stressful.
Chefs often work long hours and need to move quickly.
The same is true for many professions.
That's why it's useful to understand what a job actually involves.
Let's introduce an important English question.
The question is, what does that job involve?
This question asks about the tasks and responsibilities of a job.
For example, someone might ask, what does a teacher's job involve?
The answer might be teaching lessons, preparing materials, grading assignments, and helping students.
Or if someone asks about a photographer,
You could say, the job involves taking photos, editing images, and sometimes traveling.
explaining the activities makes your description much clearer.
Another useful question is, what do you enjoy about that job?
This question focuses on the positive aspects of the work.
For example, someone might say, I enjoy the creativity.
Or I enjoy helping people solve problems.
Or even, I enjoy learning new things every day.
Let's combine these ideas into a longer answer.
For example, someone could say, my favorite job would be a teacher.
The job involves explaining ideas and helping students understand new concepts.
I enjoy it because I like supporting people and seeing them improve.
Notice how that answer has three parts:
The job itself,
the activities involved.
and the reason the person enjoys it.
This structure makes your answer sound more complete.
Now let's look at some useful vocabulary that describes good qualities in a job.
The first word is rewarding.
A rewarding job makes you feel satisfied and proud of what you do.
Many people describe jobs like teaching, healthcare, or volunteering as rewarding.
Another important word is challenging.
A challenging job pushes you to learn and improve,
Challenges can sometimes be difficult.
but they also help you grow and develop new skills.
Another word people often use is fulfilling.
A fulfilling job gives you a strong sense of purpose.
It makes you feel that your work really matters.
For example, people working in healthcare often say their work feels fulfilling.
Teachers also often describe their work that way.
Another important job quality is flexibility.
Flexible jobs allow you to adjust your schedule.
This can make it easier to balance work and personal life,
Many people today value flexibility more than ever before.
especially in remote or freelance work.
Let's also talk about teamwork.
Some jobs involve working closely with other people.
Doctors and nurses often work together in teams.
Engineers and designers collaborate on projects.
Teamwork can make work more dynamic and supportive.
But some people prefer working independently.
For example, writers or artists spend long periods working alone.
Both approaches have advantages.
Some people feel energized by teamwork.
Others feel more productive when they work independently.
It all depends on personal preference.
And that's why people have different ideas about their favorite job.
Exactly. What feels exciting and meaningful to one person might not feel the same to someone else.
And that variety makes conversations about careers and jobs so interesting.
Because when people talk about the work they enjoy, they're also sharing something about who they are and what motivates them.
Now that we've talked about different types of jobs and what makes them enjoyable, let's focus on something very practical.
Yes, let's talk about how you can describe your favorite job clearly in English.
Many English learners know the names of different jobs like teacher, engineer, chef, or photographer.
But sometimes they are not sure how to explain why they like those jobs.
That's why learning a few useful sentence patterns can help a lot.
Let's start with one of the most common patterns.
The pattern is, my favorite job would be blank because blank.
This sentence structure is simple, but it sounds very natural.
For example, someone might say, my favorite job would be a teacher because I enjoy helping people learn.
Or, my favorite job would be a photographer because I love capturing beautiful moments.
Notice how the second part of the sentence explains the reason.
Adding a reason makes your answer more interesting and complete.
Let's look at another useful pattern.
This one is, I would love to work as a blank because blank.
For example, I would love to work as a chef because I enjoy cooking and creating new dishes.
Or, I would love to work as a pilot because I enjoy traveling and exploring new places.
These patterns are especially helpful when talking about future careers or dream jobs.
Here's another sentence pattern that sounds very natural in conversations.
The pattern is, one thing I like about this job is blank.
For example, someone might say, "One thing I like about teaching is seeing students understand something new."
Or, one thing I like about photography is capturing moments that people will remember.
These patterns allow you to describe not only the job, but also the experience of doing that job.
Now let's build a longer answer using several of these patterns.
A natural answer could sound like this.
My favorite job would be a wildlife photographer.
The job involves traveling to natural environments and photographing animals.
One thing I like about it is spending time in nature and sharing those experiences through pictures.
That answer gives a clear explanation of the job and the reason behind it.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when talking about jobs.
Mistake number 1 is using the wrong verb.
For example, some learners say, I do a teacher,
But in English, we usually say, "I am a teacher."
or I work as a teacher.
Using the verb be correctly is very important when describing professions.
Another common mistake is giving answers that are too short.
For example, someone might say, "My favorite job is doctor."
That sentence is understandable, but it sounds incomplete.
It's better to expand the sentence.
For example, my favorite job would be a doctor because I want to help people stay healthy.
That extra explanation makes the answer sound much more natural.
Another mistake is confusing the words job and work.
Job is a specific position or occupation.
But work is the activity you do.
For example, you say, "I have a new job."
But you say, I go to work every morning.
That difference can be small, but it's important in English.
Let's also look at a few useful expressions related to jobs.
One very common expression is dream job.
A dream job is the job someone would most love to have.
For example, someone might say, "Being a travel writer is my dream job."
Another useful phrase is job satisfaction.
Job satisfaction means feeling happy and fulfilled in your work.
People with high job satisfaction usually enjoy their daily tasks.
Another phrase that many people talk about today is work-life balance.
Work-life balance means having enough time for both your job and your personal life.
It means you have time for family, hobbies, and rest.
Many people believe that good work-life balance is very important for happiness.
Another interesting idea is when a hobby becomes a career.
For example, someone who loves photography might eventually become a professional photographer.
Or someone who enjoys cooking might become a chef.
Turning a passion into a job can feel very rewarding.
But it still requires effort, discipline, and hard work.
That's true for almost every profession.
Even dream jobs come with responsibilities and challenges.
But when people enjoy what they do, those challenges can feel more meaningful.
And that's why talking about favorite jobs is such an interesting topic.
Because it helps people think about what motivates them.
And what kind of work makes them feel inspired.
Now it's time for a little practice.
If you can, try answering these questions out loud.
First question, what is your favorite job?
Second question, why do you like that job?
Third question, what does that job involve?
Try using the sentence patterns we practiced today.
For example, my favorite job would be blank because blank.
Or, one thing I like about this job is blank.
Practicing out loud will help you become more comfortable speaking English.
And it will help you remember the vocabulary more easily.
Before we finish, let's quickly review what we talked about today.
We discussed how to talk about your favorite job in English.
We looked at different reasons people enjoy certain jobs.
We learned useful sentence patterns for describing careers.
And we talked about common mistakes learners should avoid.
Most importantly, we practiced expressing our ideas clearly and naturally.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
If you could choose any job in the world, what would your favorite job be?
And why would you choose that job?
Write your answer in the comments.
You can start your sentence like this. My favorite job would be blank because blank.
We always enjoy reading your answers.
It's a great way to practice your English writing.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe to Chill English channel.
Subscribing helps us continue creating calm and useful English lessons for you.
Keep practicing a little every day.
And remember, learning English is a journey.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time.